guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video, another update for you based upon my neck issues that I've been having. I wanted to give you some updates because if you haven't seen my previous videos, I've been going through some neck problems. I've made some moves since then, some good ones that have helped me out. So a couple things. You notice a new chair, probably different than the chair that you probably saw in a previous video. This has been a nice chair for me, a nice change. The other chair that I had was a little broken. One of the wheels in the bottom kind of broke off, and that chair wasn't stabilized. And I know I've been feeling better since I've done that. On top of this chair has some of these things on here that help support your neck, so you can do that. You can put that back there, or you can tie it back there, which is just what you're supposed to be doing. It keeps your neck stabilized a little bit more, and this is a good thing that I'm doing right now. This has helped me out tremendously. My neck and back have been feeling okay since then. This is for back support too. They do this for back support, so you can use that for your back. I don't have back issues, but you know, if you have lower back issues, I do feel that it does help out a little bit if you have lower back issues, because I can feel it, you know, a little better for me. I've been long overdue for this, long over. New sneakers. These are called Charge Assert sneakers, and I don't know exactly why they're called Charge Asserts, but they're very nice. They're very comfortable. I bought them at Kohl's. They were on sale, believe it or not. The other sneakers I had were all ripped up on the inside. The soles were done. I've had them for 5 years. The soles are probably done for at least a year and a half now. So I say, you know what, it's just time to get new sneakers. What led me to this was the fact that when I was going for a daily 2-mile walk, at some point my legs felt very weak and like they were going to give out from underneath me. I felt it from up here. That's kind of what prompted me to do all of this, is to get to a doctor's appointment too. I felt it up here. I felt it very tight, and I felt my legs get very weak. I seem to notice that this is keeping me more stabilized with this. So I was very happy making this choice. Because I had a couple other sneakers that I was looking at, but these have been really good for me so far. And I guess I will make sure that I remember what sneakers they are. New sneakers are always very important, I guess, especially when you're walking. All right, so on top of that, where are we? So most of you that follow me on Facebook know where I've been, know what I'm going through. Most of you on YouTube have already seen the videos. If you haven't, you can go look back on them. Most of you that I've talked to personally know what I plan to do, what I've been doing as well. I give you the full story, but I'm giving everyone else the full story now, especially for those folks that haven't really talked to me, that haven't seen my social media or Facebook, or or just follow me on YouTube just to see where my progress is here. So a few weeks ago, I put out a post for my friends. I need a recommendation for either a neurosurgeon or orthopedic surgeon for my neck. Does anyone have any? A lot of friends responded, which is really good. Thank you so much. A doctor friend of mine reached out and said, if you want somebody, this is your guy right here. And 4 or 5 people after that had actually gave me that same recommendation, which I was happy. On top of that, there was a second recommendation, which was an orthopedic place. Not a particular doctor, but it was an orthopedic. It was basically a neck and spine institute. I won't give you the names of either doctors or either places right now because I don't want to put them out there. But those that know me know who I'm going to. Unfortunately, what happened was I called the first choice, which was the one guy that my doctor friend recommended, and they came back and said, well, unfortunately, this doctor is not in network in your insurance. So what we can do, you can keep the appointment, you can come in, and we can try to submit it if you got out-of-network benefits and hope that your insurance will cover it. Otherwise, if they don't, it will be a $400 consultation fee. $400 consultation fee is a lot of money. Of course, immediately my insurance actually called me a few hours later saying, we don't want you going there. You don't have any out-of-network benefits. We want you to go to somewhere else. They kept calling, so I had to really think about that. They kept calling, and I was doing some research after that. They kept calling for a couple more days after that. They said they wanted to give me a list of doctors. Found out the second place that was recommended to me was actually in-network. So that worked out for me. I was like, you know what? Let me make the appointment here. Scheduled it for 2 weeks later. Within those 2 weeks, I decided, let me stop doing something. So remember my videos, I was showing you the neck brace, the neck collars. I was stopped doing that. Pulling my neck up, I stopped doing that. Pulling the neck up with the decompression thing that I had going on. I stopped doing that. A couple of things I still do here and there, but wasn't anything major. And this is one of the changes that I did make to help me out a little bit more. And then reduce my time driving as well, because that's when I was having major problems driving, and one of the big things that was happening was I'm driving, my neck's getting really tight. Mainly this is happening on main highways, long drives, fast drives, or when I'm stopped at a red light, that was happening as well. And what was happening when I stopped at a red light? Why is the video getting all weird? Okay, weird. It got really dark when I spotted the video. And that's what was happening, and of course it's getting all tight. I was feeling very weak from down here to down here, sometimes getting pins and needle feeling in here. So that was kind of strange too, so that's what prompted me. And on top of that, the walk that I had where I was getting weak and kind of getting weak in the legs, that's what prompted me to make all those changes and get to this doctor. So I made the call, made those changes for 2 weeks to see if I could give my neck a break and let it heal on its own. I've been feeling better. It's been off and on. It hasn't been on like I wanted it to be, but it's been off and on. I have now what I consider a good day, a bad day, an okay day, then another okay day, then a bad day, and then a good day. So that is kind of what's happening. It's like kind of very off and on every single time. The best time when I feel is in the morning. That's when I feel the best, when I wake up from my sleep. My pillows are awesome. That's when I actually feel the best. I'm okay. So a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So I went to this doctor. I like this doctor. He was really cool. He was my age. So he was more curious as to why I was coming in to come see me. He understood that it was more of a chronic case for me. And he flat out told me, he gave me the whole spiel. He goes, okay, so here's the thing. You come in with this MRI, you show me that you have herniated disc, bulge disc stenosis, nerve root compression. He goes, that's good. I'm glad you came with this MRI, even though it was 5 years ago. This helps me out a little bit. What he flat out told me, he goes, if you were to come in today and tell me all these symptoms that you have, because I basically gave him the story, but shorter version of the story, and give me all these symptoms that you have today, and and if you were to tell me that this was just happened a week ago and you were in a lot of pain starting last week, this is how I would have to tell you basically to go home, take aspirin, take Advil, put ice on it, come see me in 6 weeks. He goes, because that's how insurance tells me to do it. Unfortunately, because you're a new patient, I have to treat you that same way. However, I want you to be aware that this is not how I want to treat you. This is what insurance is basically making me do. Insurance is making me do this, and he flat out told me, he goes, it's because insurance wants to make money off you. So he says, let me see what I can do for you. Come back. Take a look at your MRIs here. So he came back. He says, okay, so since you brought your MRIs from 5 years ago, you've shown that you had some damage from then. You're my age. Our bodies, you may not have the herniated disc anymore, but we don't know. Over time, you've never done anything about this. You've not, other than home self-care. You haven't gone through any surgeries. You haven't gone through any physical therapies. You haven't gone through any pain management. Nothing. You've done nothing about this. So you've proven to me that you can live your life past that. And that's a negative thing, but it's also a good thing that you proved that, because now I might be able to say he had neck damage. He hasn't done anything on this. Let's see what we can do. He said, what I can do now is I can give you an X-ray. So he did an X-ray on me while I look at your MRI. So he did an X-ray on me, and what he found out, let me just tell you exactly what this was. So he said that I have cervical radiculopathy. I don't even have radiculopathy, which is basically nerve damage. Because of the pain that I've gotten from here into here. He said he'd be more concerned if it was into here. That means I would have more severe damage. But because it's from here, back here, and into here, that's when he's not too concerned about it. As well as cervical spondylosis, which is causing the stenosis. He says the reason why it's causing that is because you have essentially arthritis in your neck right now, that is causing your canals to be more narrow than they should. What he did notice on the X-ray when he showed it to me was that my neck didn't have the natural curve on it like we thought 6 years ago. However, he said it has improved since the MRI, so it still has a slight curve on it. It's not straight like it used to be. It has a slight curve on it. So whatever I've been doing has helped. He says it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. But he says, but it can be helped, and we can work through this. So he said, let's take more of a traditional approach here. He says that while surgery is not necessary right now, if he doesn't see improvements within 6 months, that could be something that could be presented as an option for me. So that is one thing that he said. He goes, however, since you've already, since we're already seeing this, you don't have to be under doctor's care, as he's calling it. That's what insurance calls it. For 6 weeks for me to do the next step here, because otherwise I would just tell you, go home, take an Advil, put the ice on it. Since you've already given me the MRI, since you told me some symptoms, since you did this, what I can do for you is send you to physical therapy for 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, actually 4 to 6 weeks. He said 2 to 3 times a week. So that's what he did. I like that. The guy was very honest. I like the doctor. He's really cool. I'm not going to tell you who he was. I'm not going to tell you where it was. I think we'll just leave that out for now. Because I don't want any problems in case anything bad happens or anything, in case, anyone wants to stalk me. You never know that too, right? But most of the people that know me know where I went and who I've seen. So on top of that, he basically told me that for driving, he doesn't want me driving 20 to 30 minutes more than that a day in one sitting. So that kind of becomes a problem. He also said to hold off on any ice hockey for now. He does want me to continue to remain a little active. The walking's good. He said that'll be good for me. Probably lose some weight would probably help out too. He said the physical therapy will help out, and he's hoping to see improvements from the physical therapy after the 6 weeks. Which that's good. That's good news. So I've already scheduled a physical therapy. I'll get into that in a little bit here. So that's really helpful. One thing that was scary was about the driving, and I said, look, I really like to drive and I like to play hockey. When he says, well, let's see you wait till you get better, see how it is. Told him, when I go into the office, I haven't really been doing that, but because of how I've been feeling. But when I go into the office, it's easily an hour plus drive to the office, and it could be an hour and a half sometimes, and same thing coming home. So what do I do? And he goes, well, can you still work from home? And I said, I could probably ask, and it'll probably be okay, but at some point they might want a note for that. And he says, okay, I'm going to give you a note for that then. And basically gave me a note saying to please allow me to continue to work from home when possible. So I guess when I feel right, when I feel better, is when I will bring his start going to the office. Hopefully, maybe after the physical therapy that can happen. You never know. I guess it's this first step. He says, I said, what's the next step with that? And he said, well, after 6 weeks, if you come to me, if you say you haven't improved, if you say you're still feeling the same way, if physical therapy hasn't helped, we will then send you to MRI to see what else is there, and then we could potentially put you in a hard collar for 2-3 months. So we can have a hard collar that will keep my neck stabilized. And what will happen after that is, then they will consider another MRI after that and potential surgery, which would probably, decompress the disc. He showed me that it was basically I think he said disc 2, disc 3, which is exactly what it was, and then the disc 5 and disc 6, which is the other piece. So everything in between was okay, and everything on the bottom was okay. But that's where he said where he saw the problem. He says, it's not that bad. He goes, I've seen a lot worse. He'd be more concerned if I walked in there and, he didn't even want to give me pain medicine. He'd be more concerned if I walked in there and couldn't do the stuff I was doing. So he gave me all the neurological tests, like to squeeze the hands. So he did notice I was weaker on the right hand side. Squeeze the hands, pull, push, crisscross, all this crazy stuff. Put one thing down to one ear so you can see I'm okay with there. Put the other one down to the other one. That's as far as I can go on that one, so I can't get down there. Turn your head this way, turn your head up. So I was okay there. Was still a little crappy there. Put your head down, and then this side, which is a little worse too. That was the other thing. But he said that I've seen patients come in here. They couldn't even walk. They can't even move their neck. They can't even turn their heads. You're doing okay with that. Neurologically, you seem to be okay. So he if I was not okay neurologically, he would send me over to MRI, at that point, and then consider a step even further at that point. But because I'm proving that I'm okay, that's fine. His assistant, I heard him in the hallway. His assistant was there. They were looking at my MRI. His first, question that she asked was, doesn't something like this cause pain? And he says, well, he's got kind of a chronic case. He may not realize he has pain because he's probably been dealing with it for so long, or sometimes they don't even feel the pain, or if they have a high tolerance for pain like I do, they wouldn't even notice I have the pain. So that's kind of where it was. And she's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, that's what's going on now. So I came home, I started looking at physical therapy places. I asked for his recommendation. He gave me two recommendations, one right around the corner from my house, literally. Another one was a little bit further away, and then he mentioned the one in the orthopedic place as well, but they didn't seem to be active, or didn't seem to be any physical therapists there when I looked at it that day when I went, so I was kind of a little about that. And it was a little bit further away, but it was about, because it's 10 miles south, I didn't feel like saying, let me go 10 miles south. So I put out some recommendations on my community forums and asking, hey, what's the best physical therapy for your neck? And I got two places recommended to me. I chose the one that they were both actually right around the corner from me. I could walk to them within like 15 minutes, or I could drive to them in 2 minutes. Ironically enough, I went there and to go pick up some paperwork the other day, and the lady was very surprised when I told her I'd be there in 2 minutes, and I literally got there in 2 minutes because that's how close it was. She goes, "Oh, you weren't kidding, in 2 minutes." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like right around the corner. This helps out." I chose one that's been around for a little bit longer because the other one was a little bit more unconventional, but they didn't necessarily talk about any neck issues that they specialize in, and this other one talk about neck issues and talk about cervical stabilization, which is what I think I need as well as more of a disc decompression as well. I considered some chiropractor, but I opted against that for now because I want to go disc decompression or chiropractor. But until I get an actual MRI to find out what's wrong with me, I'm holding off on that for now. I think I covered everything about what I'm going through. So physical therapy is going to, again, be about 4 to 6 weeks of time, 2 to 3 times a week. So they'll get me on a schedule there. One thing I was happy about when he did the X-ray, because what I was worried about was that there was damage from. I was worried about there was damage from an accident I was in 8 months ago. They did the X-ray. There was nothing broken. There was nothing fractured. There was nothing bad in there other than, you have arthritis of the neck, which is causing your neck to compress a little bit more and causing your canals to be to be tight and causing nerve damage as well, which is what I'm feeling more, and the weakness too, and obviously the weakness. That is the big thing. The weakness is the big thing. That kind of scares me. That's the one that scares me the most. So there's my update. I hope you guys listened. It's very much shorter than most of the videos. What I'll do is I'm going to go through this physical therapy for 6 weeks, and I'm going to give you an update as to how the physical therapy went and how I'm feeling after that. If you have any questions, leave a question or comment on my comment section over there. For those that are not friends with me, you can go ahead, subscribe to my channel to follow me, follow this journey that I'm on with my neck. You can always reach out to me personally if you have any questions too. If you have any recommendations, I'm always willing to listen to them. I watch a lot of YouTube videos for a lot of exercises. One of the things I'll probably start doing is I'll probably get back into my DDP yoga or yoga in itself, some form of yoga, just to help me out a little bit. Get myself on my better diet, lose some weight, see how that works out. 6 weeks is a long time, so a lot can be done in 6 weeks. So those are the other things I'll be doing, and so there you have it. I've seen a lot of what physical therapists want to do. I won't be surprised if they want me to do the McKenzie method, which I know about. So I will follow their instructions. I'll do any at-home exercises they ask me to do as well. Anything they ask me to hold off on doing, I'll make sure I hold off on doing as well. I'll try to reduce the time that I'm sitting down. That's very helpful. Lying down's been pretty good. When I wake up in the morning, that's when I feel the best because I guess my pillows are really good and my mattress is really good. So that's when I really feel really good. But as you sit down longer during the day, it really feels crappy. But this chair's help. So there you have it. So thanks everyone for listening, and I will see you in 6 weeks.
to